Good afternoon and welcome to GrainTV. It's June 10th, 2013. To my left is Logan Burgess and I'm Brock Shimbino. The grains closed negatively today in Chicago. Let's turn over to fire tip to see how we ended. Corn for the old crop down 16 1/4, new crop down 12 1/2. Soybeans on the old crop down 16 1/2, new crop down 11 1/4. Wheat in Chicago off 6 1/2, and Kansas City was off 9 cents as well. You know, Logan, it seemed like coming out of the weekend after a long, strong rally last week, traders are really looking for the weather forecast and to see how that was going to affect the trade today. I think we got a drier, warmer forecast going forward, and I think that's really what pushed the grains lower here today.
Yeah, it does seem like weather was weighing on things a bit. Certainly the drier weather is much needed across much of the Corn Belt. You know, bottom line though, we do have a WASDE report coming down the pipe on Wednesday of this week, and it's not surprising that coming into that report here today and tomorrow, we might see a little bit of backing off, especially in soybeans, as you said, after a really strong week last week in the soybean complex in particular. On tomorrow's GrainTV, we're going to be breaking down expectations for Wednesday's numbers in detail. But today we had some important fundamental numbers come out as well. Starting off here with crop progress, we now have 95% of the corn crop reported planted. That's up from 91% last week. But I really think the important thing to start taking a look at here is the emergence and the quality on this crop. We now see 85% of the crop reported emerged here, as you can see from the graph. Still well below the blue line, which is the average pace of emergence. Looking at quality on this corn crop, we have 63% of this crop rated good to excellent. That was unchanged from last week. So the quality is still hanging on there. Certainly not where we'd like to see it, though, in terms of emergence. That's really to be expected, though, obviously, given the late planting that we had this year. Turning our attentions here to soybeans, similar chart here for soybeans, but now we're looking at just soybean planting. As you can see here, soybean planting is now reported 71% complete. That's up 57% last week. So certainly a good week here in terms of progress made getting the soybean crop into the ground. We don't have a good to excellent rating yet on this crop from the USDA. Expect that next week, and we'll keep you posted on that here on GrainTV. In general, though, I think a lot of the action in the market has already been reflective of the slow pace of soybean planting in particular. So today's numbers weren't a big market mover. Certainly good to keep an eye, though, on those good to excellent ratings for the corn crop, sitting at 63% there, good to excellent. That's kind of what we saw there for crop progress. On the production side of things, we did get some good numbers, though, in terms of demand. That was by way of the export inspections report. Brock, can you kind of detail what we saw there?
You know, we didn't really get any surprises out of the export inspections report. For wheat, we got about 24 million bushels exported last week. That was above analyst expectations of about 10 to 15. Yeah. Corn, we got right within analyst expectations at 6.3 million bushels leaving the country. And soybeans, we came in right at 3 million bushels leaving the country. So we were right within analyst expectations for corn and soybeans. Wheat a little bit on the high side, but we have turned over into the new marketing year for as far as wheat exports are concerned. Right. If you take a look at this chart, we've been following all marketing year long. You can see the green line is the seasonal pace we need to be meeting to meet the current USDA projections. The red bars are what we are actually seeing for export inspections on a weekly basis. Right. For corn, you can see here that we are quite a bit below where we need to be to meet the current USDA projections. On the year, we're about 10.7 million bushels behind the pace to meet the current USDA projections. Soybeans, a little different story. Kind of been the theme for most of this year. Right. We started out the year very strong on our exports, but we've tapered off towards the end of the year. That's to be expected. But for the year, we're still about 61 million bushels behind pace to meet the current USDA projections. You know, those projections could change. We're coming up to that WASDE report, like you said, on Wednesday. So we could see some revisions here, but I'm not really expecting too much by way of revisions for exports. Yeah, certainly the demand side, I think a lot of people are expecting to remain relatively unchanged in Wednesday's numbers. The one area, though, that obviously is due for revision in particular is that planted acreage number for corn. I think people are going to be looking at that really closely, and we wouldn't be surprised if we saw a revision lower by 1 or 2 million acres from what we saw in the May report. But as I said, we're going to kind of break that down in detail in tomorrow's show, the expectations for ending stocks. And we're going to be having two crops here reported on, the old crop 12-13 and new crop 13-14. Expect the major movers in new crop, but as I said, we'll be breaking that down in detail in tomorrow's report. If you guys want live quotes over at your home or office for the report day, give us a call here at the office. Our number is 877-472-4607, and we can set you up with a no-obligation trial of the trading platform that you see here on GrainTV. In general, Brock, though, that's kind of the action that we saw here for a Monday in the grain market. Thanks a lot for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.